Have you ever started out watching something simple, something a friend recommended, something to scare the ever-loving crap out of you because that's what they find hilarious, and that something captivates you? It's something so simple, so monstrous, such a legend that you wonder slowly, somewhere in the back of your mind, if at any chance it could possibly be true. Slowly you begin to think to yourself that no, of course not. Nothing like that could ever happen, but in your spare time, you find yourself researching it anyway. Slowly, you find yourself searching it more and more, watching more videos, listening and reading to more things, hearing more accounts, seeing more pictures. And suddenly, you start to become obsessed. Obsessed to the point where you start more from the fact of, oh, well, they couldn't probably be true, to the fact of, what if this is real? So many people have reported it. What if this isn't a joke? What if this actually happened? The thoughts slowly consume your mind, tearing it apart piece by piece. You don't know how to function, you don't know how to think, because it's all you can think about. And then one night, you wake up, frozen, unable to move, and standing in the corner, you see obsession, your nightmare. And it slowly comes towards you, menacingly, and whispers out the words you're terrified to hear. You can't move, even though you fight to. Your body is paralyzed. You want to scream, but you can't. It's just like all the stories you've heard, you've read, you've seen. Suddenly you're able to move again, and the room looks exactly the same as it did when your eyes were closed. The shadows are all in the same place. Every animal was where it was sitting. Everything moved to its perfect place, except what you feared was gone. Suddenly your obsession becomes your nightmare. You start to wonder, did I really see that? Did I really? What's going on with my head? Every night in the dark you start to panic. You start keeping a small light on. Start snuggling with things you would normally never let anyone know you were doing. You keep the windows closed for fear that you might look outside and see that nightmare staring back in at you. When you go out in the dark, you always carry something with you, and basically someone has to drag you out the door, even just to get you to that point. Your mind's consumed with it. You can't sleep at night because you're afraid that it's going to come and kill you in your sleep. You're terrified. You can't think. You can't breathe. Every waking moment is spent thinking about it. You're wondering if you're starting to go crazy. Maybe becoming schizophrenic. But so many other people, they've reported the same things, right? This is real. This thing, it has to be real. But what if it's not? If I tell somebody it's real, they're gonna think it's fake. And if I tell somebody that I'm thinking I'm seeing these things, they're gonna have me committed or think I'm a nut job. Slowly, you're driven to insanity. And in this insanity, you start to see things, shadows forming in the night. Other people say, oh, that's just a tree or a bush making that shadow, or maybe a sign or something like that. They don't see what you see. They don't see the truth. The monster that's hidden there, lying in wait for you, going to consume your soul. You hide from it. You become so terrified you don't want to leave at night. You don't want to turn off the lights. You can only sleep during the day. Everything is so scary, so real, so horrifying. Finally, you find yourself at a standstill. If this truly is a trick of the mind, then why am I seeing this? Why am I feeling this? And if it's not a trick of the mind, then have I lost my mind? Slowly, the insanity drives you to pick up a gun and put it in your hand. You wonder if this is truly a nightmare or just your imagination. You wonder if life's really living, if this thing is actually haunting you. And maybe the stories about if you believe it's true, it comes true. Maybe those are real. You start to set this gun aside when suddenly out of the corner of the eye, you see a shadow crossing across the room. You hear footsteps. It's coming closer. You can't stand it anymore. You can't allow it to consume you. You place the gun in your mouth. Your fingers slowly squeeze